Welcome back, folks. Your favorite YouTuber, your favorite football YouTuber. Don't follow the rest. Subscribe to me. I'm back, Deluded Guna. Now, Arsenal versus Liverpool. I really should say Liverpool first because we're obviously travelling to Anfield. We know what to kind of expect. We know the last two times we faced Liverpool, they did the double over us last year. At home was ridiculous. It's around. You remember the whole Alexis Sanchez stuff? That was surrounded by it. We haven't actually won at Anfield in a while. I think it's like 2012 or something like that. I was shocked when I found that out. I think like when Santi scored or something. Forgive me if I'm wrong. We know it could be a high scoring game. Do you remember the game Debussy and Giroud scored, and there was a game after that. It's been some high scoring. Whether we lose or they beat us or it's a draw, both sides tend to score a lot of goals and concede a lot of goals. And I must say you can't see that changing because arguably our defense is crap. Liverpool's probably, if not worse, on par with it. So two leaky defenses, two extraordinary attacking forces. You know what you're going to get into it. In our regards, we know what we're going to get into it. Liverpool are quick starters. You say what you want about them in small games. They do let themselves down in smaller games. But big games, they're always up for it. They start fast. Look at all the times we've been battered. You remember I can't remember the score, but 13-14 at Anfield when they scored like 3 or 4 in 10 minutes or 12 minutes or so. That last year, both home and away, they start off quickly. They're going to press us ridiculously high, especially if we play free at the back. Mane, Coutinho, if he's there, we know his future's up in doubt. Firmino, all of these players, they're going to press these guys very high. So it's important that when people are in possession, in defence, and everywhere around the pitch, we think quickly. We cannot get caught on the counter. We know they're quick. We know how to play against us. We know all the problems that surround our club. They've got guys like Mane. He'll skeng us on a late night. He does not care about us. He's a savage. He's a player I've got a lot of time for. He will finish us. We're baby food. We'll get destroyed. We cannot allow ourselves to get counted ridiculously. We cannot allow ourselves to get pulled off. I don't want to see us playing a high line as well because of the counter-attacking aspect, and they are quicker than our back 3 or 4, however you look at it. I mean, Koscielny's quick, Ox, if he's playing there, is quick, but the rest of them are reasonable pace compared to Mane and etc. and etc. Don't forget, Ronaldo, we're going to need to keep an eye on him, not because he's necessarily the best player on the pitch, it's because he makes a number of driving runs into our box. We've typically seen people concede goals because we don't follow our runners, and he's someone that's shown he can get a couple goals doing things like that. Firmino as well, he's going to be pulling the strings on the edge of the area. Like I said, we know what we're going to get. The only hope I can say is that like us, Liverpool have communication problems, especially when crosses come in. You constantly see Mignolet doing his thing and Lovren doing his thing. So yeah, we need to put crosses in. We need to really put crosses in, get behind, get on that defense's first touch to have any hope, in my opinion. I don't think Lovren's anything to write home about. We've got some bad defenders. Lovren's is arguably worse than all of them, bar the very crap ones. We need to target these sort of players. We really do to have any chance. Any chance. Mane, you've seen slightly based on the last 2 games, he's been, I don't know if it's because of Coutinho, especially last game, but he's been taking more central positions. Of course, he's still on the left and pulling out wide, and our right back is really going to have to watch his runners and watch Mane, but he comes inside and he can make things happen. He can be quiet in the game and just, so it's important we stay switched on. Liverpool, of course, they played Hoffenheim in the week. I was watching it for obvious reasons to bring you this. I thought Klopp would have brought off some of these players in regards to the weekend. Around the 60th minute, I think Firmino, Mane, a couple of all the other players apart from Jan of memory played 80-something minutes. So you'd like to think because of the way they play, the high pressing, and they did look tired on that pitch, and you'd like to think we, in theory, should be the fitter. So if that's the case, we should have a better chance. Of course, with Arsenal, anything can happen. Alexander-Arnold as well, we're going to need to watch him. He's a danger from set pieces, but his crossing, we have problems defending crosses. He is someone that's got excellent delivery and is going to whip it in early, so we need to watch our runners, again, especially Mane. Like us, to a degree, Liverpool struggled. I know we lost and we beat Leicester, but neither were convincing. Liverpool, in my opinion, weren't that convincing against Palace. They obviously dropped points against Watford. You could say, arguably, all the big sides do not look ready for the season and things like that. So we can't read into it. But it's two sides that are still waiting to go up several gears. If you ask me, I mean, like I said, they did the double over us last year, so we need to win. There's plenty of You'd like to think there's going to be plenty of goals and plenty of self-inflicting errors. It's typically high scoring. A part of me, because I want us to play direct and put balls into the box, wants to play Giroud to get them to put headers in and things like that. But if we do that, we then lose our pace, and it makes it slightly easier for defenders to defend against Drew, because he's not going to constantly move and stuff. So it makes it easier to shepherd the line. Midfield's another concern as well. I don't think their midfield's anything to write home about. But if you look at Henderson and all their others, they're more industrial in the sense that they probably cover more ground than us. So already fighting against it. Xhaka is not the most mobile, so we have a tough decision to make, because we need to kind of fight in the middle, and midfield's going to be key to it. Do we play Coquelin on the basis that he's the only one that's going to put a foot in and try and regain possession? Do we play El Nene? We know El Nene is not the most physical, but he covers a lot of ground. Ramsey and Xhaka, I wouldn't play it this game. It either goes, like I said, it either goes very well or very poorly. When Ramsey is told to keep it simple and stay with his partner, he's unplayable. But typically, like last week, he wants to be a striker. We cannot do that against Liverpool. We really cannot do that. There's a case to play Ramsey. If Ramsey's going to play serious, I guess, yeah. I really don't know, guys. I really don't know. In regards to team news, I've got too technical. Alexis should be back. Wenger's played very coy in regards to whether he's going to start him or not. Of course he is. Of course he's going to do that. But I do think he's going to start. Koscielny's back allegedly. So yeah, the key thing for me is Anfield, big games, it gets rocking. The team already, before I said Anfield, I didn't mean to say Anfield, Liverpool are rocking and already on it for big games. You've seen it time and time again in big games. Anfield, the crowd is going to play a massive part at Anfield. You see it, it's always buzzing. It's a magical stadium. I'd love to play at Anfield if I was a footballer. But we need to quiet the fans. If we score early, if we dominate, if we kick, the fans are not going to be that 12th man. And you've seen, especially with Liverpool, that 12th man carries them through, gets them results and things like that. The high press, Mane, Salah. You see in Salah, new sign. You see, I've been looking at the runs he makes. He pulls out to the channels very well, and he gets in the middle and gets involved a lot. We need to watch these runners. It is a lot of pace. Personally, I think we should go 4-3-3 or 4-5-1 purely for solidarity reasons. But it's not going to happen. Realistically, it's gonna be three at the back. So I might as well just try and, off the top of my head, think of the side. Obviously, checking goal. You know what? Checking goal, because Lesniak's left back. Centre half, the two best at our club, Koscielny and Mustafi. Right back, I give it to Ox because he's been better. Bellerin, you have to drop to the bench. Midfield, if it was 4-3-3, this is what mine would be. Xhaka, Ozil, and you're going to probably have to get Coquelin in there. And then the three options, Lacazette, Alexis, and give it to whoever you want. Or you could put Ozil on the right unofficially and put someone in the midfield. Other than that, I'd say there's two spaces, like I've just told you, there's two spaces up for debate. It's probably going to be three at the back, guys, because, I mean, he hasn't changed all season. He said he would use four at the back as well as three at the back. But, I mean, if you're not going to change it for Stoke when we could have, are you really going to take that risk against Liverpool? We look shaky in both games. I'd love to be wrong. But, yeah, like, guys, that's the preview, to be honest with you. There's not much more to be said on that front. Sorry about my team. There's two spots up for debate. I really can't pick between the sides. So yeah, I mean, we'll just have to see on Sunday. But the most important thing is we get 3 points. I'll take a point. We live to fight another day. It's important to remember we've got Bournemouth after the international break, I believe, and then Chelsea. Of course, I would love to win, and because it would allow us to go into Bournemouth and win that, and that's 6 points. In the Chelsea game, you don't know how that's going to go. If you look at recent results in the league, we don't really take anything from Chelsea. We haven't been given the toughest of starts. I mean, we have been given the toughest of starts, so we need to kind of show our resilience. I would love to win at... Oh, sorry, guys. It just said low battery. I would love to win at Anfield. Love to. We ain't won up there in a while. And a couple of the games we've actually... Especially a couple of the draws we've had, we could have won. They could have as well. It's always magical whether they come to our place or their place. It's rarely ever a boring game. So... there is going to be probably a lot of goals conceded on both sides, a lot of shambolic defending. It's going to come down to the tightest of margins. For me, the biggest concern I want you guys to leave this is the midfield. When you watch it, remember Dili Laguna said this, the midfield. The midfield is the battle. It is the battle. Emre Can, Ronaldo and Henderson versus Xhaka and whoever. Them three midfielders are very much more mobile than our options. So by that, or on that basis, they're going to cover more ground. If they're going to cover more ground, they're more likely to be onto us and win the ball back, and they're more likely to not allow us out of our own half. So that's what we need to do to have any chance, man. I'd love to see 4-3-3 counter-attacking football like what we did against Bayern Munich, but I'd also like us to go out there and dominate possession, because for all I said about these players covering more ground, they're not technically on par with us. So yeah, either way, regardless of how we set out, we need to start off strongly. There's none of this typical Arsenal getting stunned thing. We cannot afford to do that with Liverpool, because they've shown time and time again they will kill teams, especially big games. Like I said, say what you want, they do drop points, silly points, but when it's these big games, 9 times out of 10, all of these Liverpool players are on it. Anyways, guys, Deluded Goon, I'm signing out. I think this is probably my worst pre-game ever. But yeah, guys, Deluded Coon, I'm signing out. Thank you for watching.